Hello everybody, welcome to AP World History Unit 8.5 Decolonization after 1900 Review. Starting off with decolonization in India. Britain broke promise of India independence, therefore Gandhi led the Indian National Congress with a lot of non-violent movements. Eventually they gained freedom and they would split into India and Pakistan later on. In the British Gold Coast, Ghana, you have Nkrumah, and he refused to cooperate with the British authorities and boycotted a lot of the British goods. He pushed for independence. His party was known as the Convention People's Party, and eventually led Ghana to independence. Decolonization in Kenya, you have the Mau Mau movement, which fought violently for Kenyan independence. It was led by the Kikuyu people using a lot of guerrilla warfare, however, many lives were lost in the conflict. Decolonization in Canada, you have the Quebecist separatist movement, in which Quebec tried to rebel against the French nationalists and free Canada, but despite all their efforts, it did not work. You have decolonization in Vietnam. Remember, you had Ho Chi Minh, who founded the Indochinese Communist Party and fought against the French for Vietnam to be free, and it did happen. Vietnam was later free. Decolonization in French West Africa, it split into several West African nations, but they were harshly ruled by the French, who exploited their natural resources and stuff like that. Eventually, they gained a sense of nationalism after a lot of the world wars, and they had a lot of protests, which resulted in the French passing the Law Qadir, allowing them to eventually have their own local governance. In Algeria, you had a lot of violent armed struggle. You had the National Liberation Front fought a guerrilla war against the French and won. The French eventually negotiated peace, but it caused many deaths. Decolonization in Nigeria, you had the Igbo people of Nigeria who led the Biafra secessionist movement for an independent state. It was led by Colonel Ojukwu, who declared Biafra secession. Eventually, you had the Nigerian government to reject it, and they launched military campaigns, but Biafra never gained independence despite all of their hard work. Finally, you have decolonization in Angola, which was inspired by other African independence movements. Portuguese used a lot of troops and stuff to destroy them, but eventually they stopped doing it because they were cut off by a conflict in Portugal. So while Angola gained independence, the Angolan Civil War would eventually lead to a lot of trouble. And that is all. Thanks for watching. If you want more information, I highly recommend you check out Fiveable, and you can use my specialized code to get 20% off your next Fiveable cram purchase. As always, please provide any feedback as needed, and I appreciate you watching. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye!